Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be making a video on the key of G. This chord right here, that's our G chord. We're going to be making a video explaining my favorite way to play everything in the key of G. And this is specifically one tip that I would give basically every guitar player who's starting out or even intermediate. Having this in your skill set it's an amazing way to play key of G, and it's the secret sauce is these two fingers right here. You got your pinky, your ring finger, and these two fingers are going to go on this high E string, which is the very bottom one, and that B string, which is the second from the bottom. They're going to go right next to that third fret, this third fret right here. 1, 2, 3. They're gonna go at the bottom. And those two fingers are gonna stay locked there for the entirety of when we play G, in the key of G. And that's those two sound like this. So we're gonna play chords, and we're gonna keep those two fingers locked right there, and we're gonna play 4, maybe 5 chords in the key of G that all are with these bottom two fingers locked right here. So let's dive into it. I'm gonna put chord charts on the screen so that you can see exactly what I'm playing here. So our first chord we're gonna do is the G chord. I played it earlier to demonstrate we're in the key of G, but we're gonna put our middle finger up here on this low E string. It's the top string. We're gonna put it up here, also on the third fret. We've got these 3 fingers that are right beside the third fret on different strings. We're gonna push down decently hard. And then this pointer finger, it's gonna go on the second fret, which is the one right here, but it's gonna go right below the string that this finger's on, the E string, low E string. It's gonna go to the A string. We're gonna put that on the second fret right there. And whenever we strum this, it's gonna make a full G chord. So I said this is a full G chord. So what exactly does that mean? Well, many people, they learn a G chord that looks something like this. I learned it like this. Don't recommend it. It's the same thing, but finger placement this way makes it easier to put that finger down over there, which suspends the chord, which we'll talk about in another video. But what's the difference between this chord and then the chord, the full G chord I was playing before? Sounds a little fuller, sounds happier, and that's the big difference. Is we have our ring finger on that B string, so it sounds happier, sounds fuller. That's it. So keeping our bottom two fingers locked, we can now play the G chord, which is our 1, and then the chord progression. In the key, the G is 1, which we'll talk about in another video. We'll explain the theory behind stuff like this. But just the basics right now, this chord right here is the G chord. And the next chord we're going to learn is called the E minor. And what we're going to do to go there, we're going to keep this finger on that string right there, that A string, 2nd fret. We're going to move that middle finger down to the 3rd string from the top, which is our D string, and that's going to be 2nd fret. So we've got these two right here on the 2nd fret, and then our bottom 2 fingers on the 3rd fret where they stay locked. And this is going to make an E minor 7. And this chord was probably my most the one I had the most difficulty with playing, because there is a major stretch that is involved, but it does take some stretching skills, but you do get used to it. So this is the E minor 7, and I'm gonna strum this, and we're gonna play the other E minor, and I want you to hear the difference in those. So this is the E minor 7, how we play with our bottom 2 fingers locked. Sounds like that. And our regular E minor that we would play sounds like that. It's a little deeper. The E minor 7's fuller, a little happier, kind of like the full G. So we have that E minor 7 now, keeping those bottom 2 fingers locked. So it went from our G, which is our 1 chord, shifting down to right here, which is our 6th chord. again, we'll talk about numbers later. So we have our G, we have our E minor 7. The next chord we're going to learn is called the D chord, but we're going to play a suspended version of the D chord. We're going to take these 2 fingers off. This is probably the easiest one out of all of them. It just takes 3 fingers. We're going to put our finger down on the 3rd string from the bottom, which is our G string. We're going to put it at the 2nd fret. And on this one, before the 2 chords, before we strummed every single string, on this one we are not going to strum the top string. You can either mute it by putting your thumb over it like this, or just practice not playing it. You can also not play this A string, but I prefer to leave it in there because A is within the D chord, so it helps to play it in the bass, as long as it's not too prominent and it doesn't like overshadow the D chord itself. But this would be how you would play this D suspended or D sus chord. I'm gonna play this A right here. It would sound something like this. So what's the difference between this D sus chord and a regular D chord? Well, my finger placement on a regular D chord looks like this. So what makes it suspended? Basically, we're putting our pinky right here, taking this finger off because we don't need it. And that's what we're suspending that note that we're playing on the bottom there. I'll explain it more in other videos. We'll talk about suspended chords. But essentially right now, all you need to know is we're playing, you can hear the difference in it. So when we play this D sus chord like this, it's gonna sound a little different than a D chord, but it sounds good in most settings that we play. I haven't really found settings where it doesn't sound good. So yeah, that is our D sus chord. So the 3 that we've learned right now is G, E minor 7, D sus, and we have one more that's going to complete our 4 basic chords in the key of G. Keeping these bottom 2 fingers locked as we always have, we're going to play something called the C add 9. This is the holy grail of worship chords. Everybody loves it. So the C add 9 is going to look like the G chord, but we're going to move both of these 2 fingers respectively down. So we were here, we're coming down, like this. And I'll put the chord chart on the screen so you see what it looks like. So it looks like the G, but we're going down with those top 2 fingers. And we are not going to play this low E string. We're going to mute it either with this or just not play it. You can also mute it with this finger if you push up on it a little bit, but there's techniques for that. We'll get into that later. So the C add 9 is going to sound really pretty, and it's going to sound like this. So that's the C add 9. So in comparison to a regular C chord, which looks like this, that's a pretty full sound. But the C add 9, if you hear how pretty it sounds, just listen. It's a great fit for a lot of different songs. It really sounds good in the worship music setting. But yeah, those are the 4 basic chords. I'm gonna go back through them real quick. Got the G, the E minor 7, the D sus, D suspended, and the C add 9. And those are our 4 basic chords, keeping our bottom 2 fingers locked, that are in the key of G. My favorite way to play this, I'll say it time and time again. If I were to learn this immediately starting out, life would have been so much better for acoustic guitar. But yeah, so let me give an example of a way we would use these G shapes. And feel free to rewind the video, rewatch everything if you need to learn. If you're not to this point yet, and I know strumming patterns are gonna be different, but I just wanna give an example of how this would sound playing it. So we'll do, what song should we do? Let's do Gratitude. We'll do Gratitude, Brandon Lake song, very popular. We're not gonna do it as high as him because I'm not gonna, We're gonna play it in G. No capo, no anything. We're gonna use these G chords. So it's gonna be in 6/8. It's gonna be an interesting strum pattern. Don't try to focus on that right now. I'll make another video on that. So I'm gonna call out the chords as we do it, but I'm also gonna try to sing. We'll see how it goes. This is our G, our full G. E E minor 7. It's our D sus right here. D sus. We're gonna go to our C add 9. There we go. And we're gonna repeat that again and again. Oh, my words fall short. That's our G. I've got nothing new. So E minor 7. I express. It's our D sus. All my gratitude. That's our C add 9 right there. I could sing these songs. That's our G. As I often do. It's our E minor 7. Every song must end. It's our D sus. And you never do. So and then we go into the chorus. But for those first two verses, that's an example of how we would use these G shapes, keeping our bottom two fingers locked. If you notice, I kept them locked the whole time. Going from G to E minor 7 to D sus to C add 9. And yeah, that is the tip that I wish I had from the get-go. It would have made life so much easier for learning guitar. But yeah, let me know if you have any questions. I'm going to put chord charts up so you can see everything. And I'll make supplemental videos expanding upon this idea right here. I love this. I love this way of playing. It's awesome. Like I say again and again, I wish I would have known this from the very start. So yeah, give it a try. Try to play these chords. Make sure you press down pretty hard. It's going to take a little bit. And these fingers, I don't know if you can see them. I don't know if it's focusing, but they get rough. So I'm not promising this is going to be without pain. Okay. But you guys got this. God bless. I'll see you guys in the next video. Let me know if you have any questions. Like, sub, all that good stuff. And yeah, Jesus loves all of you. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.